The bullies messed with the new girl. Big mistake. Just a minute later, they were begging. But before I get into the details, tell me in the comments where you were watching from. Let's see how far this story can reach. And if you like this story, don't forget to subscribe. It all started the moment she walked into the cafeteria, small, quiet, carrying a worn-out backpack and dressed in clothes that looked like they had been hand-stitched. The usual crowd of popular girls spotted her immediately. Three of them, Lexi, Tara, and Chloe Emrom, gave her a cold look. Lexi, the queen bee, smirked and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Look who brought T95 to lunch." But the new girl didn't react. She just quietly sat down alone, not even glancing their way. By the third period, those same girls had tripped her in the hallways, mocked her with whispers and cruel names, calling her every nasty thing they could think of. What they didn't know was this new girl, Maya James, was nothing like the other students. Since she was a child, she'd been trained, not in fashion, not in social media, but in resilience, self-control, and strength far beyond what they expected. Exactly 60 seconds after their latest attack, the tables turned. Those bullies who laughed and pointed were now the ones begging. Maya's story wasn't just about being the new kid. Her mom was a trauma nurse who had moved around constantly for work assignments. Since Maya was 8 or 8 to 8, they'd lived in 5 different states, and she'd attended 6 schools. She was used to starting over. But Westbridge High was different. It was a school famous for 2 things: wealth and ruthless mean girls. Maya didn't have the designer shoes or the perfectly filtered selfies plastered all over the school's social media. Her hair was braided naturally, and her quiet voice barely rose above a whisper. That silence made her stand out. Unfortunately, it also made her a target. From the moment Lexi Morgan, Westbridge's queen bee, spotted Maya's thrifted jacket and old sketchbook, she decided Maya didn't belong. Lexi's backup squad, Tara and Chloe, were right behind her. By lunchtime, they had knocked over Maya's lunch tray. During gym class, they mocked her relentlessly, whispering lies about her breath, her hair, and her clothes. But Maya didn't cry. She didn't flinch. Her father, a retired Special Forces instructor, had been training her since she was 6 years old, not just in how to defend herself, but in understanding people, reading their moves, controlling fear, and carrying herself with quiet confidence. Confidence isn't loud, her father had told her countless times. It's measured, silent, and certain. From the moment Lexi chose Maya as her next target, Maya was already preparing. They were not ready for what was coming. The turning point was during third period when Lexi slapped a folded note on Maya's desk. The note read, "You don't belong here, freak. Leave before we make you." Maya read the note calmly, folded it back up, smiled quietly, and then said, "Could you put this in her pocket?" The next day, the whole school was buzzing with rumors. Lexi was planning to publicly humiliate Maya after the final bell in front of the lockers, with everything recorded for social media. Phones were out, cameras ready. Tara was already scrolling TikTok. Maya was at her locker, placing books inside her bag just like any other day. Lexi approached with the swagger of a villain from a teenage movie. "You're going to move, loser," she hissed, loud enough for the crowd to hear. Maya turned slowly. "Is there a problem?" she asked, voice calm and steady. Lexi smirked. "Yeah, you." Tara shoved Maya's shoulder hard, expecting her to fall or cry, but Maya stood firm. She shifted her weight and adjusted her stance. When Chloe lunged for her sketchbook, Maya reacted with lightning speed. Half the crowd barely realized what had happened. She caught Chloe's wrist mid-grab, twisted it gently but firmly, and stepped aside, guiding Chloe's momentum until she stumbled to the floor unharmed, but stunned. Then Tara lunged forward. Maya sidestepped gracefully, almost like a dance, causing Tara to trip and fall hard on her back, gasping for air. Lexi froze. The crowd went silent. Maya didn't shout or curse. She didn't throw a single punch. She just stood there, calm, balanced, completely in control. Security rushed over, alerted by the noise. Phones kept recording. Now the bullies were the ones surrounded. Lexi raised her hands, her confidence crumbling. "We were just messing around," she stammered. Maya met her gaze, voice quiet and controlled. "So was I." The principal called Maya and the 3 girls into the office. Every angle of the footage was reviewed. Maya hadn't attacked anyone. She had shown remarkable restraint and control under pressure. The bullies, not so lucky. Their insults, threats, even the note were all on camera. Parents were called. The girls were given detention and suspensions. Lexi's online following dropped by half within hours. But the real shock wasn't the punishment. It was how the school saw Maya afterward. Not as a victim, but as unshakable. The girl who never flinched, never fell. The girl whose presence alone spoke volumes. Maya became the name everyone whispered, not in gossip, but in respect. She didn't chase popularity or brag. She showed up every day, sketchbook in hand, shoulders back, carrying a quiet pride that couldn't be shaken. Her art started going viral, not just for the skill, but for the courage it showed. One drawing was of a girl standing calm in the middle of a storm, untouched by the chaos swirling around her. The caption read, "Strength doesn't shout, it stands." Months later, Lexi approached Maya again, but this time it was to apologize. Maya listened, nodded, and walked away. Because some battles aren't won with fists or power plays. They're won with poise, by refusing to break when the world tries to label you less. In Maya, she didn't just survive Westbridge High, she rewrote the rules. If you like this story, please subscribe.